This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.
All right, baby, we are ready. There he is, the man, the myth, the legend. How you hanging in there, Omar? You hanging in there?
I'm tired.
You look tired.
Long game, loud stadium. Just I gotta yell all game just to talk. Like,
Why is the press box open?
it is open. Yes.
Oh God,
Yeah. It's the worst. I hate the stadium, but
that's ridiculous. They have the press box open there.
yeah.
Wow. I can understand the broadcast booth, why you want the ambiance and all that BS, but you have your headphones on and a microphone, so it doesn't matter if they're screaming. You know what I'm saying? But wow,
Yeah.
that is wow. Okay, that's
There's
some
certain
weird stuff.
venues. There's certain venues I do not look forward to. This just happens to be at the top of the list.
Okay, all right. I mean, hanging out in Bourbon Street is good, but that I guess is kind of a pain. All right, so Omar, I mean, we got to be extremely happy as Dolphin fans, right? They got it done. They found a way to win the game, and they controlled it from beginning to end, pretty much.
Yeah, would I love for the offense to play a little bit better? Maybe score one more touchdown or turn a field goal into touchdown, make it a little bit more confident of performance. Yeah, I would, but that was a dominant defensive performance. 0 for 12 on third downs, limiting them to 3 points. They had barely 100 yards most of the game, 8 sacks. I mean, it I'm not sure it gets more. You can produce more of a dominant performance than the defense showed today. Yeah, and this is what I don't like. People will say, "Oh, look at the caliber of the opponent. Look at the caliber of the quarterbacks that they played." And I can say to you, it's hard to win any game in the NFL. Look at halftime. If it wasn't for Nick Needham pick six, that score would have been tied.
Right.
Look, and just like you said all week, their pass rushers are going to give these tackles some issues, and they were eating up this offensive line all game.
Yeah, no, they were, but they found ways to win, and that's really.
Yeah,
Listen, man. You know, somebody said to me on the chat board, "Oh, the Dolphins got to change it up for next week." There's no change
change
up,
up
bro.
what? What
This is
change up
who they
what?
right. Exactly. You and I are
Right,
on the same
right.
page. This is who they are, bro. They're
What?
the greatest show on turf is not showing up, man. It's just this isn't Mahomes and Tyreek Hill and all that. No,
Like what?
dude.
Hold on. What are they supposed to change up? Change up to what? Like
Nothing.
I'm like sitting here thinking to myself, like, okay, change up the backs. They changed up the backs.
Yeah.
Like, okay,
That's
what next can we change up? We can, this one today they used Gesicki as a tight end. That was horrible. It's just like I don't know how. Yeah, they do change up every single week, but I'm like, what can they change up and actually make things better? I could not tell you.
No, it's just that they have too many limitations, and it's just a blue collar team that has to just go out there and try to do whatever they can to try to win a game. And you know what, dude?
Yeah,
They've done it for 7 weeks in a row. Let's give them a ton of props that
yeah.
even with their limitations, they're finding ways to win. That's all that counts, man.
No, nobody in NFL history, and I give Ruthie Polinsky credit for this because I'm sure it'll be in Brett's stats. I mean Brett's post game notes, but no team in NFL history has lost 7 straight games and then went on to win 7 straight games. I mean that alone is an accomplishment itself. I mean people were sticking a fork in Greer and Flores at 1-7. I mean, people are done with them. They can't return. There's no way. This is only a matter of time before the team quits on them. I knew that this team probably wasn't going to quit on Flores, but I didn't know the nature and caliber of how they would rebound or respond. It's quite impressive. Uh, People were like, "Oh well, why weren't they playing this defense earlier in the season?" Well, they weren't playing that defense early in the season for a number of reasons and a number of factors and a number of issues and a lot of chemistry that needed to be built. But, give them credit. They have found a way to build that chemistry and found a way to play with some cohesiveness. During the 1-7 streak, you heard common themes like, okay, we gotta trust the man next to us. We gotta not try to do too much, and they were consistent with it. And their actions are backed up. I mean, what they're saying is backed up by actions.
By the way, give you a little credit. I asked you, so what defensive players needs to be a big time playmaker today? And you said Jerome Baker. And Jerome Baker had himself a game today.
Yeah,
He had a sack and a half, man. He had
yeah,
seven tackles in the second. Yeah, that was
Ogba,
my pick. That was my
Ogba
pick.
had a Ogba had a $15 million, 15 million a year game. He's a double-digit sack artist right now.
Yeah.
Like that's the starting bidding point.
Yeah.
Like we're at 40 million guaranteed right now. So I thought he was probably the most impressive guy. But Jerome, I didn't know. I knew Jerome was fast. I didn't know how fast he was chasing down Ian Book. That was some fast running
Yeah.
right there. I don't know if you guys can get that view on television, but on the field when you're looking, because good God, we're looking from a nosebleed area,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
you see Jerome close ground on Ian Book. I mean, they were just teeing off on Ian Book. He was dead man walking. He and 0 for 12 on third downs. I've never seen that.
No,
Never.
I think the stat was this was the first time in Peyton's career that he's never converted a third down. Sean, all of his teams have converted at least a third down in a game in his entire coaching career. This was the first team ever to
Also,
never convert one.
also the first time ever he's coaching a team on its fourth quarterback,
Yeah,
and
probably.
with 20 COVID players out, like
Yeah.
this season's gonna be crazy and wild. I'm dying to see what happens on next Sunday. Tannehill
Well,
Bowl, baby.
yeah, I know, but you know what's funny? All these players are picking up the perfect immunity because they've all got the vax, and now they're getting the COVID. So now they're getting more antibodies, and at least they'll be ready for the rest of the season and the
Uh,
postseason.
Whatever. By the time we get to next OTAs, because they just came out with a mandate that the media has to get a booster shot, which I wasn't necessarily planning on getting, but now it's mandatory. It's by the time we get to the season, good God, we're probably gonna have two booster shots. We'll probably be on the Philippian variant of this disease of this illness. It's crazy. It's crazy. And it's
Uh,
amazing to me to see people on Bourbon Street no mask. People talk
oh
about
yeah,
Miami, like Miami's wilding out. Like people on Bourbon Street, I didn't see no masks.
yeah. No, of course not. There's no masks. No, of course not. And you know what? If you're vaxxed, this variant isn't too bad. So I guess a lot of people aren't too afraid of it at this point in time. Talk to me a little bit about Waddle, dude. I mean, the guy just continues to impress.
He's gonna set. He's on pace as long as he doesn't get hurt against Tennessee. He's gonna break Anquan Bolden's record. That's a record I didn't think would ever get touched. While I don't necessarily like his usage, I can definitely see what they're intending to do with him to create.
No, they have no
And
choice. They have no choice.
I know, but
They have no choice.
I would have loved to have seen
Uh,
him do more.
Dude, I'm with you, and so is every Dolphin on the planet. Our imaginations were that he was going to make more plays downfield, but unfortunately, because of this damn line, they just don't have the time, dude, to do that kind of stuff. And so, and you know what? I give him a lot of credit also, Omar, because if he had any diva in him, he would be like, man, screw all this short stuff, man. When am I going to get deep and, all that kind of, and he has been
It-
the ultimate professional, and I give him a lot of credit for that.
yeah, him and him and Tua, man, they just got such a. There's just such a strange relationship. It's strange. It's like listening to their interactions. It's like passive aggressive. Like it's one of those weird friendships that you're like trying to figure it out. Like
They're
these
just
guys
good.
like each.
They're just two good dudes. They're just good human beings, is what it
But
is. It just looks like those are two young men that just look like they have a great foundation in their lives. Like their parents and their siblings
I'm just
were,
talking about like how they're so
but that's
passive aggressive with each other. They're I guess it's like their way of playing, but it comes across weird.
right. Yeah, 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 yeah. They're
It's
kind of
like
like they're like two innocent dudes, bro. It's just those are two kids that you want your daughters to marry. You know what I mean? They're just good people, man. You know what I mean? It just you
no,
get good vibes from both guys. I mean,
they
at
they
least that's
they
how I see it.
they have a good bond. They have good chemistry. I I I, I like the offense because I like the RPO. I think it works. It would be great if you had weapons. I don't even know what happened to Devontae. I don't think he finished with the game with a catch. Like earlier today, I saw the trainers just like obsessing about Devontae. I don't know what happened to him or if he's okay, but I mean this is the season. This is we got two more games to go. Figure it out. Mac Hollins is making plays, and you know, just figure it out. Just make it happen.
Well, as I kind of expected, Duke did not do much this week as a runner. But I will say,
Oh,
but
come
I will
on.
say, but I will
13
say
carries.
that one 10-yard run where he put two guys on their asses, that was fun to watch. Okay. I mean, he kind of came back to reality against a tough team. I didn't expect him to run again, but that one
2.9
run,
yards per carry. Yeah.
no, but that one run was awesome. I will say the whole place went crazy here at Sports
He,
Grill.
he, he,
They
he
loved
had
it.
a
That one
big
run was
he had
good.
a big run. He had a big run again that got called back because of Austin Jackson, I believe. I'm not 100% sure which crappy offensive lineman
It was.
committed
It
a
was.
penalty.
No. I think you're right. I think it was Austin Jackson.
Yeah, that line, man. That line is trash. It's just trash.
I know.
The whole unit trash.
I'm with you there. I'm with you.
Like just, Robert Hunt and the rest of it just wipe it off the board. It's it's, it's like good God, can you get worse? And I heard all these people talking about analytics and how this site says they're the second best line since their winning streak started. I'm like, are y'all watching the same goddamn team I'm watching?
No.
Quarterback can't doesn't have 1.7 seconds to throw the ball. Like
Pro, the problem with PFF is that those stats are very general and they don't really take into account who you're facing down in and down out.
yeah,
If
yeah,
it's a
yeah, yeah,
backup, if it's a third stringer,
yeah.
whatever it is. And one guy could have a great week, but he played against scrubs the whole week, and so you're giving him the same grade as a guy that went up against a Pro Bowler had the same week. And that's where it just doesn't fly, those stats.
I had an NFL executive tell me the same thing probably a decade ago,
Yeah.
and just completely ended my obsession with Pro Football Focus numbers. She was like, "Listen, you gotta stop citing them. You gotta stop quoting them. You gotta stop
I agree.
obsessing about these grades." And then, funny enough, the whole league is obsessed with them, and agents use them for negotiations, and they're attached to Monday night football games or one of the
Well,
Sunday night
uh,
football games.
by the way, do you know who's part ownership of PFF?
Chris Collinsworth, yes, I know.
Exactly.
I'm more. Yeah, well, he's not part ownership. He owns it.
Right. He owns
So
it.
yeah,
I think. Yeah. Yeah. So he
yeah.
whores that off, and then everybody else follows through on it, and it
The
is.
the problem is there's no competition for it. So that so
To
they
compete
become.
against, to do it right would be really tedious to do it.
They did
Really
it.
tedious,
They
huh?
did it. I mean,
But they're
yeah,
not doing it
it's like
right. They're not doing it.
Yeah, I don't believe in. I mean, I believe in some of the things that they keep track of, like yards after the catch, yards, hits, hits you've taken, or yards after the contact. I believe in some of those numbers and metrics. The grades trash, but anyway, let me not start discrediting them. They'll come after me.
Oh, yeah.
With their army.
Of what? Anyway,
they have an army, bro. They have an army. It's the scouting, the college scouting. They moved into the college scouting worlds, and they've got computers and trackers. It's a monster now.
No, I know it's a monster, but whatever, man. I just it does nothing for me. Anyway, follow him on Twitter at Omar Kelly. More importantly, catch his work there also at the South Florida Sun Sentinel and subscribe to it. We will talk tomorrow morning, my friend. Go get some rest and safe travels back.
Thank you. I appreciate it. All right.
We got it. There you go. Omar Kelly and the EJDconstruction.com Miami Dolphins report.
This is the Big O Show.